The Poisoned Throne, the story of a tyrant's fall. Once upon a time, in a great land of Agha, there ruled a wicked king named Obiora. His reign was harsh and cruel, making life difficult for the villagers. He seized their farmlands, took their wives and daughters, and forced them to pay heavy taxes every weekend. If anyone dared to complain, he would have them locked up or beaten. The villagers lived in fear, murmured their grievances only in harsh tones. They prayed for a day when the gods would deliver them from his tyranny. Do you think the villagers' gossip made things better? Let's find out as the story continues. But please, my dear, click the like button. Also, subscribe to encourage this channel. Thanks. Now, back to the story. One fateful day, King Obiora set his eyes on a beautiful young maiden named Agha. She was betrothed to his cousin, Okoro, a noble and kind-hearted man. But the wicked king did not care. He summoned Agha to the palace and told her, "You deserve a better life, a life only I can give you." With tears in her eyes, Agha was forced to move into the palace. Her heart ached for Okoro, who had loved her dearly. Okoro was furious. How could his own cousin steal his bride? He vowed to take revenge, but the elders of the village advised him to let go. "The king is powerful," they said. "If you challenge him, you may lose your life. Okoro, please don't challenge him." But Okoro could not forget Agha. Every night, he thought of her suffering in the palace. Meanwhile, the king continued his cruelty. If a farmer's crop yielded well, he would take them all. If a craftsman made something beautiful, the king would claim it as his own. People trembled at the mention of his name. One day, the king's youngest wife, Nena, prepared a meal for him. But when he tasted the soup, he frowned. "This is not fit for a king," he roared. In his rage, he ordered the guards to lock her up, and for 8 days, she had no food. When she finally regained her freedom, she was weak and exhausted. Yet, the king demanded that she cook another meal immediately. Angrily, Nena went into the kitchen, prepared the soup, and placed it before him. Then, without a word, she walked out of the palace. Moments after King Obiora finished eating, a loud gunshot echoed through the village. The king gasped, clutched his chest, and fell to the ground. The palace guards rushed to his side, but to their surprise, there was no gunshot wound on his body. The king lay lifeless. The villagers were shocked. How had the wicked king died? The elders called the native doctors to investigate the matter. After many rituals, they discovered that the king had been poisoned. But who had done it? Obviously, the first suspect was Queen Nena. She cooked the food, the villagers murmured. She must have poisoned it. But Nena swore to her ancestors that she had done no such thing. "I even tasted the food before serving it to the king," she insisted. The villagers consulted the oracle, seeking answers. After a long night of divination, the truth was revealed. The real culprit was a palace guard named Jide. Jide's land had been seized by the king as payment for an old debt. His mother had fallen sick and he had borrowed the money to treat her. But when he couldn't repay, the king took his land without mercy. His mother later died of sorrow. Angered and heartbroken, Jide swore to revenge her. So, that night, when Nena stepped out to fetch water, Jide had sneaked into the kitchen and poisoned the food. He had waited patiently, knowing that the king would soon eat his last meal. But the mystery was not yet solved. Who had also fired the gunshot heard in the village? That left the elders confused. After more questioning, the truth came out. It was actually Okoro, the king's cousin. He had fired the shot at the king at the same moment the king was eating the poisoned food. But the bullet had missed. Fate had also decided the king's death. The villagers gathered to discuss Jide's punishment. Though many sympathized with him, they could not still allow murder in their land. He was banished from the kingdom. So, with the wicked king gone, his eldest son, Chidubem, became the real ruler. Unlike his father, Dubem was kind and just. He returned the seized land to their owners, freed the women held against their will, and ended the heavy taxes his father imposed. Soon, peace returned to the land of Agha. The people rejoiced, singing songs of freedom. No longer did they live in fear. And so they lived happily under the rule of their new king. As for Okoro and Adeze, they finally reunited. Their love had survived the storm, and on a bright sunny day, they were married in a grand celebration, a wedding that the whole village attended. From that day forward, the people of Agha never forgot the story of the wicked king's downfall. It was a tale told from generation to generation, a reminder that no ruler is greater than the will of the people, and that justice, no matter how long it takes, always finds a way. If you were in Jide's position, would you have sought revenge differently, or was his action justified? Also, how can people unite to resist a tyrant without resorting to violence, as seen in the downfall of King Obiora? Do leave us a comment below, and remember to share this story with your loved ones. Thanks for being here. Do you know that the Shilluk Kingdom in present-day South Sudan believed their king, known as the Wraith, was a divine being? However, to prevent him from growing old and weak, tradition dictated that he must be killed once he showed signs of aging or illness. This ensured that the ruler always appeared strong and powerful. In some cases, the king's closest advisors or warriors carried out the ritual killing. This practice was similar to other sacred kingship traditions in Africa, where rulers were seen as semi-divine but also had to be sacrificed or removed once they were no longer deemed fit to rule. Thanks for watching. Love from the classic stories.